So my name is Tezlyn Figaro, and for those who were in the room earlier, I believe in prophetic ministry. And I appreciate that you started out with a poet, because I am a poet myself, and I believe that prophecy comes through the poets. And if you don't understand that, then go back and read the Bible and read the poets and what they said. And I heard, and for those who were here earlier, so you heard, see, this is not a coordinated effort. When you're talking from the spirit, when you're talking from your heart, it's not a coordinated effort. So you heard me say earlier about threes and the importance of three. And so you heard Andre talk about 3 years, 3 years. It's been 3 years. See, there's a reason why, going back to what I said earlier, why things were done in three. 3 is a sign. 3 tells us where we're going. It tells us where we came. It gives you a clear direction. And so I want you to, regardless of your religion or your philosophy or ideology, I want you to understand that for me, biblical numerology is very important. I did a poem in 2014 called Blackout 2016. And I talked about, I said signs come in 3. Martin, Brown, Garner, signs come in 3. Read the Bible for yourself. You ain't got to believe me. And so when you talk about those things and then you see what our brother has been able to accomplish here in less than 3 years, you need to understand how important that is and what that really means. And I hope that you will see the significance in that and the power that you guys hear. So I'm just going to, you'll hear a little bit of my story as I weave in through my conversation, but there's a couple of things I just wanted to point out to you. Dre also started talking about completion. The first thing he said is complete. You must complete. One of the things I talk about that people don't understand what 2020 is. The Bible talks about 10 is complete. Completion of order. It's the reason why Pharaoh had to be told 10 times to let our people go. When you look at 2020, that's 10 times 2. That's twofold. Understand the significance is bigger than Republicans and Democrats and independents and who's saying this and who's angry and who's racist and who. Understand that there is a completion and an order that is about to take place beyond just the political atmosphere, but in our communities and within yourself. People don't know how to take me because I wasn't just a staffer for Bernie Sanders in general. I was the National Racial Justice Director. So I have some people who say, you're over there with Bernie Sanders, the socialists, the communists. Then they see me on National Fox News and say, you over here with white supremacists, the racists. And then I go over here and talk to my client. I'm Benjamin Crump, attorney Benjamin Crump's senior publicist. For those who don't know, he's Trayvon Martin's attorney, Mike Brown's attorney. And they say he's a black nationalist. He's a terrorizer, he's an outside agitator. So one minute I'm over here with Benjamin Crump, and the next minute I'm on National Fox News, and the next minute I'm over here with Bernie Sanders. But my conversation is consistent no matter where I am. Whether I'm on the Breakfast Club, whether I'm on Fox News, my conversation is consistent. And that's hard, like Brother Dre talked about. People don't know how to take that because you try to put me in a box, and the moment you try to put me in a box, I step out the box. Well, wait a minute, when you over there with Sean Hannity and you're on the panel with Brother B and X, that's confusing. But it's because when you understand your purpose, when you understand your vision, when you understand what you have been called to do, it allows you to move fluidly through those spaces. And so I want to encourage you on the things that I have learned, not just through my own personal experience, but those who I've had a pleasure to be around. A couple of different points that I want to point out. So I do a training in the hood. I break down Democrats being Crips, blue, Republicans being Bloods, red, because it's just like it. Yeah, just like when Crips were the monopoly back in the 90s. Do I got any 90s? Is Dre the only one to understand what I'm talking about? Okay. I want to make sure. I think you'll follow me. Keep everybody. So in the 90s, so you had Crips that dominated, and it was only just a few Bloods, and my guy, Inglewood, California, the Bloods were in the center, and all Crips were around them. They had the monopoly, but yet Bloods seem to survive, and that's very similar to what we see in our politics. How is it that Republicans are the minority, but yet they seem to survive when the majority are Crips? And back in the 90s, you had Crips killing Crips.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Democrats kill each other. You know, do y'all notice the difference? Can you follow me?
Yeah.
But yet you have Bloods, and back then, because some Bloods kill each other now, but that's another sermon. But back in the 90s, you had Bloods that stood together, and it was all about what was the original idea of the blood movement was my blood brother and community commitment to each other. And so it's very similar. How is it that Republicans are in charge, but yet we're the minority? They're the minority. Why is it that America's majority liberal, but yet you can't seem to get it together? So it reminds me a lot of Bloods and Crips and from the streets. So I want to talk to you about a gangster party.
All right.
Now y'all got to keep up. If y'all get with Dre at the end, he'll break it down. Keep it up. I love talking to Dre. I said I gotta take a moment and talk because people don't understand my language and politics, but Dre get it. And so I talk about it ain't nothing but a gangster party. Tupac said this.
Yeah.
And so right now we're in a gangster party.
Yeah.
And what it means to be a gangster, I'm gonna break it down to you. Even though I got some folks that probably saying, well, where's she going with it? Just keep up. I'm gonna wrap up here in a minute. But I'm gonna break down to you what it means to be a gangster.
All right.
Because I think the idea, this is why Dre said that the same skill set that he learned from the streets was easily transferable. Real easy. I can break it down to you. Pastors, pimps, and politicians got a whole lot in common. I know you don't want to. I know you may not want me to really break that down. You'll be looking at your pastor kind of funny style on Sunday, but we got something in common. Can I break it down for me? I want to throw too much of game. We're gonna do some games. I gotta break it down just a little bit of game. So you notice that the politician and the pastor and the pimp all sell a dream. It's all a dream. If I am the pastor, well, let me first start with the politician.
All right.
I own a business called Tezlyn, Figaro Communications Group. I train a lot of these politicians that you see, so I know exactly how to talk that talk and walk that walk. I know exactly what it is they talk. I teach a lot of them. You may not know it. I'm not going to tell you their names. But they have a three, and I learned this in Congressional Black Caucus training. I learned this in Bruce List training. I learned it in Yale Law School political training. It's all the same. It's called the me, you, and the us. And it starts out with the me. I'm Tezlyn Figaro, I'm Barack Obama, I came from this, and I came from that, and my mother was this, and my daddy was this, and I am such and such, and then it goes to you. Oh, sister, I know where you come from, and I come from the Midwest and the steel mills, and my daddy did this, and my daddy did that, and then I make that connection between me and you. And then I go to the us. But see, me and you together, if me and you together just come together and do this, we can take over. All I need you to do is give me $3 for my campaign. Just $3. That's all it takes, just $3. And then we can move this on together. That's your politician. And I'm not saying that good work don't go into this. I'm just trying to get you to understand how the game works.
Okay.
And why Dre was so able to see through what a lot of y'all can't see.
Watch out there, man.
Because of that skill set. See, that's the part. See, some of y'all ain't gonna get that because you didn't come from that mindset to be able to see straight through the game. I told him when he called me, start introducing himself. I said, you should just say who you was at the jump so I could know who I was talking to. You gotta break down. Let's get your ass off. You should just say who you was. I said, gorgeous. So I'm gorgeous. Dre, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me switch my conversation so I can know who I'm talking to. I'm certified. I said, I hope you don't mind no disrespect. I don't get this opportunity all the time. He said, sister, just being said, I know you didn't change your life, but I got to talk to somebody who understands this game. Because that's what politics is. That's why he was able to do it in 3 years what these cornballs could never do.
That's right. That's right.
When you look at the pastor, and I'm not saying I go to a church, I love my church, I love my pastors, but I'm trying to get you to understand why the faith-based ministry blew up overnight. Why George Bush put that together.
Yeah.
Don't get confused. I come from Bishop T.D. Jakes' church. That was my foundation, got me through my roughest times, but you got to understand the game.
Yes.
And so the pastors say, let me tell you about myself. I'm a man of God. Remember the me, you, and us. Let me tell you about myself. I'm a man of God. Can't nobody get to the Father, you got to come through me, and I'm the one, and the blessings come down. Y'all done heard it before. Anybody heard it before? Raise your hand. The blessings come down through the man of the house and the man of God. And I'm not saying those things are true. I'm just trying to get you to understand the sequence of events.
Gotcha. Give them the game now.
It comes down from me, and it got to the minister got to be in charge of who say what and how things get done, and nothing is approved unless it comes from the man of God himself. And then I talk about you and what you're going through, and how I don't know what it is, who I'm speaking into this evening. There's somebody in the room that's going through something. Somebody can't pay a bill in here tonight. Somebody can't do something. Now, what are the chances of that somebody here can't pay a bill tonight? It's really no excuse. Sometimes it's prophetic and sometimes it's pimping. Right. Let's just talk about, I got to talk about pimping. I'm sorry, y'all don't like it. I was already asked for permission. I'm not your normal politician. I'm just telling you what it is. And then I say to us, but if me and you can get together and all I need is you to give your tithe, which the Bible says tithe. But then you got some pastors out here that need the tithe, the building fund for this fund, this other building fund. I'm just telling you what the game is.
Right.
I'm telling you why your fearless leader here was able to see straight through it. Because y'all may not have been here to put it together, but I'm going to put it together for y'all tonight so you don't no longer have to be confused. But as long as you just give me the tithe and that 5 building fund, you and I, because they say that once you bless the woman of God, you'll be blessed. Ain't that what they say?
That's what they say.
To me, you and us.
Right.
And you crying and snotting and giving your last $10, your last $5, walking out with hope.
Yeah.
The same hope in my poem when I said you gave them that hope, but it was just more dope like a dope fiend. You lied and now they know.
Yeah.
You eating flow with my crow. Then let's get to the pimping, the me, you, and us. Can I?
Go for it.
Okay, I got to ask permission because I want to make sure. And correct me if I'm wrong on the game.
All right.
So the pimp is looking good. It seems a reason you got to go watch it. They said you got to look good. You got to show up looking good because it's the me. I'm looking good. I'm fly. My car is fly. This is what I can offer you. Only I can be your manager. It's only me. This is where I come from. This is what I do. And then I'm going to talk about you. Who you look good. See, that's the me, you, and us. And then, baby, me and you going to take over the world. All I need you to do
What?
is give me that $3. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you understand the commonality between the three? It's not saying that there's not good people in those 3 things. It's not saying, because some people need a manager. Amen? Some, let's just be honest. Some folks need a manager. Whether it's the pimp, the pastor, the politician, we need good politicians. It's not that good politicians, most of them do great things by default. Because they don't respond to applause, they respond by pressure.
Yeah.
So by default, they're going to do something.
Right.
If you keep knocking on the door. And it's not that there's not a man and woman of God out there that's not doing good work. I'm trying to get you to understand the consistency in the gangster party.
Right.
And what you have here with what Andre has been able to put together, which I've never seen in politics ever, and understand the significance of when somebody has, like I talked about before, not just the discernment to see straight through your game. Because I can see straight through your game. These cornballs, they're so easy to run in circles with. I'm sorry, I came up Bloods, Crips, I don't know nothing different. I see straight through them.
That's right.
So when you got the discernment and then the wisdom to know how do I finesse this, how do I move this for the betterment of my people, then now you're doing something different. So when I talk about the gangster party, it takes, number 1, guts. It takes guts. In Oklahoma City, my case, I worked on a couple different police brutality cases. One, Monroe Bird in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that's on Crime Watch Daily. That was my case from the beginning of the media taking his name and trashing it, like we talk just with the same story. Goes on all over the country, not just here, it's everywhere. But the case that profoundly changed my life was the Hosscroft rape case. And that was where the 13 black women were raped by the police officer in Oklahoma City. And I lived next door to the police station. I talked about this on the Breakfast Club quickly, but it didn't really have a chance to really expound. And when I say next door, I mean literally next door. My grandmother's house, I was moving back to Texas from Orlando, Florida. And I needed to come to Oklahoma City before I moved back to Houston, Texas. And And so my grandmother's house was here and the police station was here, literally. Not up the street. And I think when people say next door, they think, oh yeah, down the way. No, I'm saying that was my neighbor. And Officer Hoscove, that was his substation. And when I got there, I said, nobody's talking about this on the national scene. And in my poem, I said, you talk behind the scene, but I don't hear you making no noise on the national scene. It's always these side deals. It's always, we're going to talk about it in the back room and we never talk about it for what it is. And I remember contacting the attorney at the time and said, why are we not talking about this case nationally? Why are we hiding this? He said, we don't want it to be national, because this was before people started hearing about it. And I said, well, when when God put something on my heart to do it, then like Moses, even though I go around the bush 1,000 times and say, are you sure, are you sure? I think people get confused about this and think that everybody walks into this looking for shine and looking for praise and it's not that at all when you've really been called for this, because a lot comes with this.
Yes.
A lot comes with this.
Yes.
So I said, are you sure you want me to do this? Why do you want me to call out these folks living next door to the police station with my grandmother, bless her heart? She's so sweet, Tezlyn, don't bother nobody, don't say nothing, they gonna get them, you're gonna get them all upset. Me and my daughter, only child, don't nobody give me nothing in the game. I say game because that's just how I talk. But nobody gave me nothing. Wasn't no dad, no mom, both my parents on the ground. Wasn't no hookup, somebody in politics didn't come say, oh, we see you be great, let's put you in this spot, let's put you in position. Everything been from the hustle, from the muscle. So there hasn't been a backing, a grant, a funding, or nothing behind me, but just me standing on my own 2 feet.
That's right.
Now I'm not saying people haven't given me opportunities. Dre's giving me opportunity today to speak to you. So I do not take for granted the opportunities, but what I'm trying to say, nobody's put me in position to say, we want you to be this surrogate and carry this water. I was the racial justice director for Bernie Sanders and just sued Bernie Sanders. See, to me, justice means justice. Even if it means I gotta come for you. Justice ain't playing with you. What I'm supposed to change up because I work for you. No, justice means justice. Either you gonna be the justice director or you not. Is that not the truth? But see, a lot of these folks that you see, you over there on Fox. Let's see if they do it on see, it ain't about where you at, because see, I know it ain't about where you at, because see, CNN, MSNBC, they all biased. The media's biased all the way across the board.
That's right.
But when it comes to the guts that you have, are they gonna stand up against the person that put them in position? If you say you stand for black folks, if I lost my contract last year for standing for black folks, who gonna raise their hand and stand with me? See, they all say you're willing to do it till it's time to put down that paycheck.
Come on now.
They all say it. They all, oh yeah, we with it. We fight for justice. Oh, they signing up. They going to marches. Oh, we all about their life. Till it's time to put that paycheck on the table. See, I keep Uber on my phone for a reason. Because Tezlyn's arriving in 5 minutes. You ain't got to worry. I'll go Uber. See, as long as I can go Uber and clean somebody's floor, see, I'm not above none of that. They don't control me.
Come on now.
See, that's the difference. A lot of your folks are bought and sold. A lot of your folks are bought and sold. It's important that you know that. They talk a good game. They talk a mean game. Oh, you're yelling and hollering and screaming on CNN, all that. Oh, yeah, that's right, racist. But when it comes down to it, when it's time to say you stand for justice, including the people that you work for, including your boss, that's why I tell people, don't tell me what I need to do. Prove it to me and go to your boss tomorrow. Make sure you go live so we all can see it. See, don't come telling me about what I need to do on Twitter. They got plenty of advice, don't they? Oh, they got all kind of advice. You should be doing this and you should be doing that. Okay, well, so to me, you can talk peer-to-peer, colleague to colleague. What I need you to do tomorrow is go to your boss at their job. Don't be no cubicle gangster. See, I'm looking for real gangsters. Go to your boss and then go live now so we all can see it. We got to bear witness now. And then I want you to go to your boss. Since you telling me what to tell white folks, I want you to go to your boss in the morning and go live and tell them what time it is. Since you just like me, we want to see if you're going to do what I'm going to do. And go straight into your boss and say you ain't standing for another day of injustice. You want 17-minute breaks.
Right.
Bottom line of you walking out, whatever it is you demanding on your job. Then me and you, it ain't about me placing myself above nobody. I'm just trying to make sure you know when I ain't out when I'm talking to a colleague. See, it's a difference when we both in the struggle together versus what you telling me I should be doing.
Right.
And then I want you, after you do that, because it ain't good enough, they got to tell it to the nation now. See, don't just do, you got to do what meant to make it do now. Don't just do it at the job.
Right.
Then I want you to get on Fox like I do and tell 3 million other people what you ain't gonna stand for. If you gonna do that, don't play with it now. See, I got a long list of receipts. You can go Google and look it up. I got a long list of receipts. Not about that talk, but about that walk.
Yeah.
Right.
About that walk. We ain't talking about just with no politics either. We talking about from Crenshaw Mafia, my big homie sent me. Ain't nobody talking about Crenshaw. I'm talking about the founder.
Right.
They don't know nothing about it. It might be too deep. But see, I'm Kitty Boy, little home girl. So this is important when you talking to some colleague to colleague, if we gonna be in this war together. Yeah. See, I was an M60 gun in the military. I didn't sign up to do no paperwork. Now I never went to war, but the simple fact that I signed up to be an M60 gunner, knowing I'm 5'2", should tell you I ain't wrapped too tight. Because I wouldn't in nobody's kitchen. And I cooked some mean greens and rain yams, I probably could tell. So I didn't sign up being no kitchen. I'm on the front line.
All right.
Y'all know the difference? Break down difference since the conversation with the streets. I don't know who's street and who ain't street. But y'all remember Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
Did anybody watch Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
Y'all remember Trey?
Yeah.
See, some of y'all some Treys.
Yeah.
Y'all know what happened with Trey? He had when I had to get on that car. Cause see, Trey gonna get somebody killed. He gonna be telling somebody, he gonna get somebody killed.
Right.
Now Trey had good and he old man, he really knew he was about that life, didn't he? He said, "Oh, I'm coming, come pick me up." We rolling. Time to go. But once they hit the corner, once they hit the corner, once they hit the corner, Trey said, "Y'all better go ahead and let me off right on here." I want to really do this ride. You understand? See, that's the gangster department. And Ice Cube looked at him and said, "We knew you was Trey in the beginning."
Yeah.
See, it's some Treys in the building tonight.
Watch out there.
And ain't nothing wrong with being Trey.
Yeah.
Somebody got to go to Morehouse.
Yeah.
Somebody got to get their education.
Yeah.
And somebody got to stay back here in the hood and say what they don't know. What's the rest of it? Don't show. Don't care about what's going on in the hood. You need to know if you a Trey. And ain't nothing wrong with it. Stop trying to do what I do because you don't want to have to Uber if need be.
That's
Everybody knows. Some of y'all want a job. Ain't nothing wrong with not wanting a job.
Yeah.
It ain't fun having police officers following you on Twitter and harass you like they did last week. You think that's fun? This ain't no game. This is really real. My sister over here get death threats. y'all. You want to sign up?
For real.
Because we looking for members.
Yeah.
That won't sign up because there's plenty of members. It's plenty of room.
Wow.
That really comes with this. So know if you a Trey. There ain't no wrong with it. We need strong Treys to know how to maneuver certain things, but also understand when you're riding with Ice Cube and you got your Ice Cube in your city that's trying to take something to another level and say that we got a problem here. Anybody watch that? Am I the only one from the 90s? No. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure. Okay, thank you, bro. So, okay, wrap it up. Okay. So Trey said, do anybody got a problem here? So it takes that coordination, it takes guts. Host called case, long story short, he was convicted of 263 years. I was very proud of that case. I had an opportunity to speak at the United Nations. And that is the guts. The second thing is it takes a go-getter mentality. You got to be a go-getter. In my poem I said, move out the way or get in line. I'm going to take mine. Ain't no more waiting. Come on, man. You always waiting. You either gonna take it or you either gonna be a gangster or you're not. Ain't no gangster pulling up and saying, "Do you mind?" No, we take it. Put your hands up. Put the votes in the bag. It's over with. We don't wait. That's that go-getter mentality.
Yes.
And the third thing was back to gangster that I already covered. I said I'm a verbal assassin. I'm spraying. Quit playing. Our people are decaying. Verbal assassin is your weapon. But know that there's also some weapons against you. And the Bible says that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. And you have to believe that and stand fully affirmed. And if you're not the big mouth, if you're not the one that's going to cause the problems, then be the person that lifts that person's arms up. Be the one that prayed for you. When first I said to me, sister, I want you to know I was praying for you. Your soldiers out here need that. Need that, man, you need that. And The last thing, and I'll wrap it up, is grace. You got to have grace, and this is something I learned every day myself. I preach to myself on this, because it's hard. You get cynical.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah.
You give up. You say, are you sure you want me to do this? I'm telling you, I have a conversation with myself every morning. Should I do it? Should I not do it? What are going to be the consequences of it? I talk a lot about the consequences of consciousness. There's real consequences to this. And you have to have grace. And so when Dre talks about it's important to have white allies, and I'm always something, I say, you sure you want me to come? Because I kind of say different stuff. He said, no, I want you to come. Because I say, under this people of color umbrella, a lot of black issues have been pushed to the side.
Talk about
But
that.
as I get older and as I understand that it's important to have grace and understand that everybody's not an enemy.
That's right.
That everybody's not against you. And in this business, it will make you feel that everybody is against you.
Oh, yeah.
And so when Drake talks about I have problems from my own city, that's the same thing in Oklahoma. They call me an outside agitator. Wait a minute, I was born there. What are you talking about? People don't like things to shake things up. You're constantly having debates with the older generation, the young generation, the middle generation. The pastor's mad, the NAACP mad at me, this person mad, the urban league. Constant, more internal fighting, going back to again what I said about the Bloods and the Crips, more internal fighting among the Crips and the Democrats than it is with actually dealing with the enemy on the outside, which is why I'm independent, by the way. So understand that grace is important and constantly atoning yourself and constantly just watching yourself and understanding, am I moving in revenge? Am I moving in frustration? And I'm moving in anger? These are things that I struggle with. You get upset and you wonder why people are not standing with you. The same people that you stood for are nowhere to be found when it's time for them to stand with you. So either you're going to be about this business or you not. And it's not to scare folks off, but it's about understanding whose tribe belongs with who. Because the days is over for a multitude. We done with that. I don't need a whole bunch of scary folks about me, because all you're going to do, that's just running gas and wasting gas. We wasting time. I tell people all the time, I'm Juneteenth. I get it. I know we celebrate Juneteenth, but I'm trying to figure out why there's a revolution every Juneteenth. We celebrating the fact that we was 2 years behind. See, I'm going the first time. I can't be hairy, because I'm going to honk the horn one time. I mean, ain't no that somebody had to be hairy. But I'm not hairy. I'm going to honk the horn one time. You either getting on the car or you're going to get left.
That's right.
That's where we're at with it now. Ain't nobody coming back. Come on, girl. And on Titanic. Y'all remember how girl? I'm gonna wrap it up. You remember on Titanic when she got off the boat? You remember when she got off the boat? Had the big Hope diamond and said, "I'm just to go back and go get Jack." But y'all remember Jack never had no business on the boat. Remember in the first one he snuck on the boat, and you running back and getting Jack, and Jack did what in the end? Died anyway. So now you done risk your life and your ass and your generation and generation because you up there because you had a good time with Jack in the back of the car. All it took was one time, one good roll in the hay, and you jumping back on the boat. Now, baby, me and Dre on the boat.
Ain't no question.
We may cut the deal with somebody at the top. Hey, check it out. So that's why we need that good mouthpiece. They gonna cut that deal for y'all. We gonna cut that deal. Oh man, that talk game, oh man. They say conversation rule the nation. Now don't think that conversation went nowhere. He gonna cut that deal. And you're gonna either get on that boat or you're not.
That's right.
And we ain't turning around and looking for you. You either coming the first time or you gonna be up there with the orchestra, all that playing violin, I'm going down. None of that. I don't care how good Jack was. See, sisters, we get confused. That's bring it back talking. We get confused. Jack gonna turn you out. Now you jumping back on the boat with your heavy dress, going all through the water, looking for Jack. You got to be a fool. And in the end, Jack ends up dying. No, I got some Titanic in here. I give him that. And in the end, Jack died anyway. And understand that was a dream. Like remember I said at the beginning, dreams, selling dreams. The reality is she would have died too. Because ain't no way in hell she would have made it on that raft with that heavy dress in that cold weather. She the only one to survive. Don't let the movies confuse you. But you gonna sit up here and believe that somebody heard that whistle after sitting down here for hours and hours? No, baby, you would have died too. And if we ain't willing to die for somebody who don't want to get it, if you don't want to be free, just stay where you at and quit holding us up. Because our brother Dre said his brother already died. How many more got to die? Not this time. You either getting on the boat or just go. That's it. Just go. Hey, go on. And I wish I would be like Moses and gotta look at you
and sit back because I was disobedient to God. And I got to sit back and watch you go to the land of milk. And honey, read the story. Moses was disobedient. And he said, because of your disobedience, you got to stand here and watch everybody go. I wish I would sit up here and do all of this to look at Tamika. Oh, look at her. She really over there at the land of milk. I wish I would. I'm going with Tamika. I'm going with Tamika. The rest of y'all go. They said it took 40 years for y'all to die. For the whole generation to die, I will keep on explaining the Lord, the man to come and the water coming. Oh, I got to keep. Hey, man, if you ain't got it, the Red Sea ain't convinced you at this point, you just ain't gonna be convinced.
Right.
We gonna convince you at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that.
So in closing, I got to do there's a couple things we learned here today. Like Trey said, is any Joshua's in the house? It's going on over to the land of milk and honey. Even if that means you gotta look at tell your neighbor, I'm gonna do like a church, tell your neighbor, girl, I'm going. Turn and look around your neighbor and say, girl, I'm going. You either coming or you ain't. We know the room ain't got to be filled up because everybody ain't coming in the first place. They wasn't coming no way. I'm not talking about here. I'm trying to get you to understand the metaphoric things of why. See, the person next to you wasn't coming when it was time for war no way because Trey said, let me out. And it's all right, Trey, sit at the house. You ain't got to come. But me and Ice Cube, no, we're going to do a drive-by. Well, everybody up in here. Everybody, they got mad on you. Oh, you talked about the first girl. Y'all go Google it up. A woman that tried to tear me down, named Lucy Flores, after I went and tore her up, about 15, 20 articles, 15, 20 million. Oh, girl, I know you happy you went and tore up Lucy. You know who she is. You went and tore her up. Oh, you said it. Are you done now? No, baby, I'm from the hood. We got to do a drive. I got to get the burn. Ain't just no one person going to get it. We got to go get the whole set. Y'all know what the set means? Yeah. We got to get everybody. See, everybody got to know I'm not the one to play with. Right. We got to get everybody. Got to get her. They got to go come over and get you. They got to get this one. Because they got to know everybody in the set got to take a bullet. It ain't just you. It's not done until it's done. And I'm using that metaphorically. Please don't take it out and say, she said she gonna kill somebody. You know what I see another hashtag about me, and y'all said she said.
Shoot somebody.
Lord, please. I'm dealing with that. Ain't what I'm saying. This is a conversation in the street, so I'm talking in a street metaphor way, so that you understand that when I say I'm a verbal assassin, everybody gonna get it. Don't matter who you are, whose daddy you are, your mama, your daddy, your greasy head granny. That's what we say back then. Everybody gonna get it. And we gonna let Trey go and stay at the house. Thank y'all.